liberty and justice for all.
Okay, at this point, I'll turn it over to Mr. Mason for the first item on the agenda, and that's the election of officers for 2019.
All right, I would now open the floor for nominations for board president.
I will make a nomination of Mr. Brown, or Mr. Byers, for president.
Do you need it? I'll second it, I guess.
Actually, I don't think nominations need a second.
Okay.
Anyway, so we've got Commissioner Byers. Any other nominations?
I move that nominations be closed.
They are now closed. All in favor of Commissioner Byers as president, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, and for vice president.
I'll make a motion that Commissioner Brown be vice president.
All right.
Move the nominations be closed.
All those in favor of Commissioner Brown as vice president?
Aye.
Motion carries. Turn it over to the president.
Yay! All right, good morning, everyone. First up is a resolution. Our first resolution that starts the year off right was when we will be having our regular meeting dates. They're always on the first and third Monday of the calendar year, except we have 3 of them that will be moved to a Tuesday. And that is January 22nd, February 19th, and September 3rd.
Final meeting of the year.
Our final meeting of the year. We have great attendance that one.
Okay. So with that, I will make a motion that we approve Resolution 2019-01-CM, establishing regular meeting dates.
Second, we have a motion and a second to approve this resolution. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Next one is our appointments. Commissioner Brown will be to the Area Plan Commission, Community Corrections Advisory Board, Drainage Board, LAPC, the Do-It Board, the Solid Waste Advisory Commission, the TEMA Board, and the Tippecanoe County Solid Waste Management District. Commissioner Murtaugh will be to the Area Plan Commission, Cary Home Advisory Board, Drainage Board, Joint Purchasing Committee, Redevelopment Commission, Tippecanoe County Solid Waste Management District, Valley Oaks Mental Health, Wabash River Enhancement Corp. Commissioner Byers will be the Convention Visitors Bureau's Court Service Advisory Board, Drainage Board, Human Resource Committee, Lafayette Housing Consortium, Turf Board, and Tippecanoe County Solid Waste Management District. This will be our second resolution.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion we approve Resolution 2019-02-CM.
Second. Motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Our third resolution is different citizens that we appoint to certain boards. We have Bill Bogan going to Alcohol and Tobacco Commission, Dr. Chris Whitty to the Animal Disease Control Emergency Coordinator, Steve Clevenger, Area Board of Zoning Appeals, Vicki Pearl, Gary Schroeder to Area Plan Commission, Rick Oliver, Board of Operating Company for the Battleground Golf Course, Demetra Foster, Thomas Paget, John Thomas, and Nicole Noel, Board of Health, Rebecca Humphrey, Child Protection Team, Jim Lewis, District Planning Council for Indiana Homeland Security, District 4. We have an opening for Economic Development Commission / West Lafayette. Human Relations Commission, Andrew Antonio, Renee Celeste, Debbie DeBron, Susan DeLong, Carolyn Johnson, Yadir Salazar, Mike Piggott, Meredith Richmond, Sandra Seidner. Human Relations Commissions. Convention and Visitors Bureau, Becky Barnes, Teresa Witkowski. PETA Bowl Board, Scott Brown, Cheryl Butcher, Eleanor Lenaric. Romney Regional Sewer District, we haven't changed the name to Basham Sewer District yet, have we? But Bill Kitterman and Dan Cordy. Tippecanoe County Government Building Corp., Nate Barrett, James Gross, Jay Reynolds, Steve Schreckengass, Michael Wilson, Diane Windler, Jerome Willard. Tippecanoe County Park Board, Dennis Mellon. Tippecanoe County Partnership for Water Quality, Phase 2 Stormwater, Zach Beasley, Dale Snipes, alternate. Tippecanoe County Public Library, Mary Springer. Tippecanoe County Redevelopment Commission, Jim Andrew, Bart Burrell, Chris Kessler. Turf Board, Zach Beasley. Wabash River Heritage Corridor Commission, Jim Andrew, Vanessa Allstat, alternate. Resolution 3.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion that we approve Resolution 2019-3-CM.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Resolution 4, appointment of our department heads. Mike Wolf, Building Commissioner. Kent Croft, Chief Information Officer. Paula Bennett, Commissioner's Assistant. Jason Huber, Community Corrections Executive Director. William Smokey Anderson, Emergency Management Executive Director. Andrew Klein, Fairgrounds Property Manager. Stuart Klein, Highway Executive Director. Michael Spencer, Highway Assistant Executive Director. Brian Sterner, Highway Supervisor. Shirley Menon, Human Resources Executive Director. Anthony Dildine, Maintenance Executive Director. Deanna Seaver, Tippecanoe Villa Director. James Harris, Veteran Service Officer. Patrick Scowden, Weights and Measures Director. Rebecca Humphrey, Youth Service Director. This is Resolution 4.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion that we approve Resolution 2019-04-CM.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Next is our contract for our attorney with Hoffman, Lumen, and Masson.
All right, and we have a contract for 2019 for $200 an hour. And with that, I'll make a motion for the approval of that contract.
Second, we have a motion and a second to approve our contract with our legal firm of Hoffman, Lumen, and Masson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Next, we have a contract with our sheriff.
Okay, and this is the contract for Sheriff Goldsmith in the amount of $118,937 for fiscal year 2019. I'll make a motion we approve that contract.
Second, we have a motion and a second to approve our contract with the sheriff. Any more discussion?
I just want to mention that I think I've got a citation wrong, that I might present you with a different, where it says 36-213-2.8, those 2.8s should actually be 2.5s, I think, but subject to that revision, I recommend approval.
Okay, I'll revise my motion to show that correction.
Second, we have a motion and a second to approve the contract with the corrections stated. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That passes. Three sets of minutes.
All right, Mr. President, I'll make a motion we approve the minutes from the December 17th regular meeting, from the December 17th executive session, and from the December 26th meeting.
Second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That passes. Presentation, accounts payable and vouchers. Paula.
Mr. President, I'd like to recommend the payroll for December 28th, 2018 be approved without exception.
So moved.
Second, motion is second to approve the payroll as stated. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Area plan now.
And what is the ordinance number?
Should be
Just be one.
1 and 2. 1 and 2.
I'll make a motion that we hear ordinance 2019-01-CM.
Second, petitioner.
Good morning. Steve Ratcliffe, 401 East, 500 North, West Lafayette. This is for a 60-acre rezoned R1 from ag. Connie and I bought this farm 30-some years ago. It's held in a corporation now by our 4 children and Connie and I. Over the years, we've watched Meadowgate develop on the east side, and in the last, I believe, 3 years, Oak Ridge to the west. All of the services are now there, septic, water, gas, sewer. So we've waited to our turn, and we received a positive recommendation from Director Fahey and her staff, along with the APC board members. So we would appreciate your consideration for a positive vote on it. Thank you.
Any questions? Mr. Commissioner? Anyone in the audience like to speak in favor or oppose to this ordinance? See no one. Bob?
Byers,
Yes?
Murtaugh,
Yes.
ordinance 2019-01 CM passes 2-0.
Okay, next ordinance.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we hear ordinance 2019-02-CM, Michael Thompson Hamilton Designs LLC, A to GB.
Second, petitioner?
Good morning. Michael Thompson, Hamilton Designs, 11988 Fishers Crossing Drive, Fishers, Indiana. Petition that we're requesting is for a 3.2 acre tract of land from agriculture to general business. We looked at a property just up the road, presented that to area plan. It did not gain favorable recommendation. We regrouped, found the property that they did recommend was a more viable option. Presented that for the petition, got staff recommended approval, and then area plan also recommended approval of this petition. It's for 3.2 acres for a proposed Dollar General project. It does not have sanitary sewer or water, but we're providing the 3.2 acres in order to provide water and sewer for the property. A traditional Dollar General would only be about 1.5 acres. The other 1.7 acres is for that infrastructure. We've had a soil scientist on site preparing the samples for the sanitary sewer, and we'll present that to the state and health departments as appropriate. So happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Anyone in the audience who would like to speak in favor or oppose to this ordinance? See no one? Bob?
Murtaugh,
Yes.
Byers,
Yes?
ordinance 2019-02 CM passes 2-0.
Highway, Stewart.
Good morning, and congratulations on your new office. I'm sure it was a hard-fought campaign. The first item I have is amendment number 5 to our consultant services agreement with Strand & Associates. This is to do with the Klondike Road project. They're assisting with some of the utility relocation and additional post-design work. Oh, and it's a net add of $30,700.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we approve Amendment 5 for the Klondike Road project with Strand Associates for $30,700.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? That passes. Fee schedule.
Yes, we have 2 on-call agreements for consultant services. The first is with VS Engineering. Both agreements establish annual rates for on-call services, emergency services, that type of thing. And like I said, the first is with VS Engineering.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion that we approve the on-call services professional agreement with VS Engineering as presented.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That passes.
Our second agreement is with Butler, Fairman, and Seifert. Type of situation.
Okay. I'll make a motion, we approve the fee schedule for professional services with Butler, Fairman, and Seifert as presented.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That passes.
We have a $5,000 continuation certificate for Milestone Contractors to work throughout the county and the right-of-way.
I'll make the motion, we approve this continuation certificate for work in the right-of-way.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
And we have a verification certificate, which is the same type of an agreement, extending work within the right-of-way in the amount of $5,000 for Duke Energy.
I'll make the motion, we approve as presented.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? That passes.
That's it. Thank you.
Youth Services, Linda.
Morning. A number of things for you this morning. The first is permission to respond to Department of Child Services RFP for community-based services. It's a 2-year contract if awarded from July 1, beginning in July 1. And this is for our home-based therapy and home-based casework and our day reporting program. They have already told us that the rates will not be changing at all.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we grant permission to respond to the RFP for community-based services.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That passes.
Next, we have a contract amendment with Oliver Education Services to facilitate Understanding My Teen brain training. It's just an additional $850 for a one-day facilitation to be paid from our DOC JDI grant fund.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we grant approval for the contract for Oliver Education Services to facilitate Understanding My Teen brain.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That passes.
Next, we have a contract amendment with Buck Black, who provides substance abuse assessments, and this is for him to do an additional 8 sessions for a total of $2,400, again to be paid from our DOC JDI grant fund.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we grant approval of the contract for Buck Black for substance abuse assessments.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That passes.
Next is a contract amendment with Codefluence for quality assurance and clinical services. The contract with Codefluence last year was $52,000. In 2019, they've asked for it to be $66,000. We anticipated that when we made our budget request for 2019, and that additional amount was approved. She will serve as a clinical consultant for residential, truancy mediation, and other programming on a weekly basis, performing supervision of our clinical staff and our youth development supervisors. This was mandated for accreditation, which eventually is going to be required from DCS in order to provide services. And this increase is far cheaper than us adding on another salaried employee. Is that it?
Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we grant approval of the contract with Codefluence for quality assurance and clinical services.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That passes.
And finally, we're asking for approval to extend the terms with Dr. Askoff for an additional year for 2019 to perform individual psychological evaluations and IQ testing if requested. The rates will remain the same, and he provides these services to youth who then are paid through the Superior Court 3 budget.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we approve the professional services agreement with Dr. James Askoff as presented.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. 4D Commissioner, Shirley? That's just a job description.
Good morning. Judge Graham couldn't be here today, so I'm presenting this for her. This is actually a position that has been a part-time position since October of 2016, so we had an existing job description. She's wanting to take that from just part-time with no benefits to a regular part-time with benefits. That way she can make sure that she can retain and attract people that are qualified to do that position. So she did send me an email with some information on it. It's currently at part-time at $63,000. She intends to leave it at that. It was inadvertently put on the wrong section of the salary statement sheets during budget and went through with a 2% increase, but she wants to leave it at the $63,000 and just add the benefits. And then it would be a 30-hour per week at least, minimum.
And it was no retirement with that, right?
No, there's no perf on the regular part-time.
Yeah.
So, and She said that there would be some reimbursement from 4D cooperative agreement. Sharon's checking on that to find out if it will be the full amount of the insurance or if it will be just the ASO services portion.
And then, do we need to eliminate the part-time, or we don't typically do that?
No, we don't have to eliminate the part-time. She'll probably just do, I would assume, you can refer to Bob. I don't know if it'll actually have to be a transfer since it inadvertently went through as one of the full-time or not, so.
We could just transfer that without going to council or anything.
That's what I thought, so she just have to do the salary
Because they are going to, the person is going to be using the health insurance,
Yeah.
right?
All right. Thank you, Shirley. With that, I'll make the motion that we create the 4D commissioner position as a regular part-time position.
Second, we have a motion and a second to approve this change as stated. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? That passes. All right. Grants. Sharon.
Okay, who took the sign-in sheet? Just noticed it was there in case. Not that I needed to sign in, but need to approach to accept grants this for the Health Department, the Indiana State Department of Health, the local health department trust account for $65,427.73. I know our auditor likes that. It is a continuation.
It is a continuation?
Yes.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we grant permission to accept as presented.
Second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
And the second one for the Health Department is the Local Health Maintenance Fund, another continuation for $72,672.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion that we grant permission to accept as presented.
Second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
And the Circuit Court received the $75,000 matching grant from the Indiana Supreme Court Division of State Court Administration for the Adult Guardianship Office to supplement the Wabash Center Guardianship Services.
Is this new? Or is that,
No, it's a continuation.
Okay. Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we grant permission to accept.
Second, we have a motion and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
The last one to accept is $5,000 from the Indiana Supreme Court to provide early management and resolution of disputed involving custody, parenting time, tax exemption, child support, and other matters associated with children born out of wedlock. The 25% match of the courts will be covered by the equipment, supplies, and copying that will be used to administer the consulting services of the grant.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we grant permission to accept as stated.
Second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Last, I need to ask permission to sign a contract with Lockmuir Group and the Tippecanoe County Government for professional services and documentation related to the Master Utility Plan Technical Assistance for America's Buck Creek and Colburn communities, which will meet the Okra standards of the planning grant guidelines. This is pending the final agreements that we meet with them tomorrow and get that updated. So we need to pass it today if that's possible.
And you've had a chance to review that? Okay. With that, I'll make a motion that we approve that contract with Lockmuir Group for professional services in regard to a master utility plan for America's Buck Creek and Colburn.
Second, we have a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. An MOU for using of a swimming pool.
All right, and we have here a memorandum of understanding for use of the previously owned the YMCA pool that we have now acquired, and the parties using that will be Lafayette Central Catholic, Boilermaker Aquatics, and iSwim, and they'll be using it temporarily while there is a shortage of pool space in the community due to renovations of some school pools and the shutdown of the YWCA pool. So we have an agreement here in which they will be paying the expenses to keep that pool up and running as long as the equipment holds out. Anything else?
No, just the overarching structure of this suggests that the county's willing to let them use it because there's a, because there's a need and you do have a pool, but you're really not making any promises to keep it up. If anything expensive happens, they understand that you're not making any real guarantees about the quality of the pool.
With that, I will make a motion that we approve this memorandum of understanding.
Craig, you did have a question? I know you were asking me this morning.
Yeah, as the health department is to regulate our pools, I want to make sure in that memorandum of understanding, there's weekly water samples, there's some expenses involved that in fact Central Catholic or whoever is going to be doing that.
Yeah, and I can't remember the name that's doing the weekly samples, but it's the group that did it previously, I understand, through the Y. And then the larger testing was going to be done, I think, through your office. Is that how Tracy set that up?
I had not heard anything. The testing is just weekly water samples, all that's really required.
Oh, it is only the weekly?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Then I think it's done through,
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the company. Is it Sphere?
Spear, I think, is correct.
Is that it? Okay.
But our concern is who's paying that.
That's going to be part of that, of what they're reimbursing. Yeah.
It's just going to be interesting that we'll be regulating ourselves for a little while here. So we'll try to be nice to you.
Appreciate it.
You want to shut us down, so.
I mean, that was just kind of our concern in the health department, just making sure that, it can get costly every week having submit sample, if you get a bad sample and everything. And I know that place is in pretty bad shape, so.
Yeah. Thanks.
We're just trying to be a good neighbor, so, but I will second the motion on this MOU as stated. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? That passes. Next up is a renovation proposal from Tecton, as long as we're talking about the YMCA property. This is going through Tecton and Browning, Day, Mullins, and Deerdorf to put us together a floor design, mechanical designs, this and that, just start the steps going in the right direction. It sounds like this past weekend we had some local volunteers to help remove some of the equipment out there, so people have been cutting some copper out already, even though it's been unhooked for a couple days, but.
And I think this just sets the scope of work, and based on authorizing them to move forward, they'll present us with a contract and a fee structure that we'll approve at that time.
Okay. With that, I'll make a motion that we approve that renovation proposal as presented.
Second, we have a motion and a second to approve this renovation proposal as presented. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? That passes. We had some change orders as we finished up our courthouse clock.
Yeah, one change order for the courthouse dome project, and it's a deduct in the amount of $679.52.
Was that one in there already too, though? That's an increase.
Yeah, those are already previously. So this should take care of it, right? This should wrap up the project, so.
Okay, second. So we have a motion and a second to approve this change order. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? That passes. Additional terms for Pitney and Bowes. Please.
That's for the inserter folder that's going to be going into the clerk's office and take place of the machine that's about 25 years old in our current office. And Doug's already reviewed this.
Yeah, did we approve the proposal?
I think this is the whole thing. This is the whole thing. This is with the additional terms and
Okay, so it'll
conditions.
be it's the lease with the additional terms and conditions.
Well, it looks like these are just the additional terms.
Oh, it should have been with it.
Yeah, I don't see the original lease.
Here's
Okay, I thought we talked about that before,
Because
though.
there is no dollar amount on here,
Let's talk about it.
so.
$140 a month.
$140 a month for 5 years. 60 months. Okay. With that, I'll make a motion that we approve the additional terms and conditions for the Pitney Bowes lease.
Second, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? That passes. Under unfinished and new business, we have 2 applications for the villa.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the application and admission for Deborah E. Lowry and Julia K. Leith.
Second, we have a motion second, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? That passes. Pinnacle Mailing Products,
Was that what we had?
is in here. It has Paul's name on it.
What is that?
Yeah, I think, isn't that, did you deal with Kim LaFoon with that?
Pitney Bowes, that's the Pitney Bowes.
That's just an email chain, there's no,
All right.
Oh, that was probably the...
So any other unfinished or new business?
I have none.
Do not. Reports on file, we have one from the Building Commission, Crystal Creek Boarding Kennel, Tippecanoe Public Library, Walrus River Heritage Corridor Commission. These will be in the Commissioner's office for public viewing. Public comment.
Good morning, Karen Mitchell, Tippecanoe County Extension Director. Just wanted to make a quick announcement that we found out today. We have filled the last 4-H position in my office. So Jenny Monarch McGuire will be joining us. She is an extension educator from Southern Indiana. So she will be joining our office on February 18th, and we will be fully staffed.
Wow, congratulations.
So thank you and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Good morning. I want to introduce Christy Martin, who's a familiar face with a new position. She's my new chief deputy effective today. So I just wanted you guys to see her in person.
Wow,
Congratulations.
Thank you.
From out,
I think I'm just with them.
she's out behind the counter, so she's... Any other public comment?
Motion to adjourn.
Meeting adjourned. See, we're going to screw John up because I'm not making the motion to adjourn this year.
You'll probably still be in the minutes. I had to correct that. You weren't even there when you made a motion. That's the one meeting.